Hey guys, welcome to podcast number 5. We're going to be talking about holidays across the UK. Sadly, not the US or anywhere else in the world because we don't live there. So, as we're near Valentine's Day, it is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's
When we record
Day.
this.
Yeah, when we record it, it's
not when we
Valentine's
release.
Day. It's the week after Valentine's Day when you read this. I will watch it. Either way.
Is this when we announce we're releasing the podcast in a text format?
One day, Alan's going to introduce a podcast and it's going to actually go okay.
I was doing so well until I said read. Yeah, it's Valentine's Day. So, Jacob, seeing as you're one of the members in a relationship, what have you done for Valentine's Day?
What have I done? Nothing so far.
Okay, what will you be doing for Valentine's Day? Considering it's too.
Well, right. So we never usually celebrate Valentine's Day because it's like so close to our anniversary and birthdays and Christmas and everything like that. But what we're doing is because big COVID, we've missed like a year of everything. So let's screw it. We'll do Valentine's Day. So we're just gonna have a nice meal. Gonna have some steak. Gonna watch a couple of films. And just chill.
Any films in mind, though?
No, I haven't picked yet. I was supposed to do that earlier, but time creeps up with you.
It does. It definitely does. Any food? Like you're gonna make her a nice meal.
Steak. I've already said this.
I wasn't actually listening.
He did already say that.
Yeah, I wasn't actually listening.
Well, that's just rude, Alan. But yeah, steak and films and chill.
Steak, films, and chill. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
So, do you want to describe what we did, or do you want me to?
I mean, sure. So me and Alan celebrated yesterday because we knew we were podcasting today, and I'm going to see Chloe tonight because it was her birthday a couple of days ago, and we've not seen each other in like forever. So I'm gonna pop around and see her tonight. But yeah, Alan came round. We went shopping because
that's what you do on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. And then we made food. We actually cooked food. We didn't just shove something in the oven. We actually made food. Yeah, which we didn't wash up, by the way.
No, I was tired. Well, I wasn't tired. I was exhausted.
I walked in the kitchen today and I was like, but yeah, we made food and then we watched Sabrina because I've introduced Alan to Sabrina and we were getting through that. And then we went to bed after I threw up.
It was very romantic. We also exchanged cards as well, though.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, like I'm not really like that big on Valentine's Day because like I don't know. I feel like it's
a day.
I don't know. Yeah, like I feel like out of COVID, I would probably do a bit more, but I prefer to kind of do something for Valentine's Day. I don't just buy presents because you buy presents on birthdays, you buy presents on Christmas, and it's just a lot of money to constantly be exchanging gifts. I feel like for Valentine's Day, I prefer to like go on a date.
Yeah.
And like we can't really do that at the moment, so
go get waffles.
Yeah, like literally something like that. But we can't really do that at the moment. So yeah, we just hung out, and I'm really, really sick at the moment. Like
sick, not as in sick, fam, like ill sick.
Yeah, I'm sure they got what I meant, Alan.
Just to be safe, some people out there like me.
Like, so yeah, it wasn't really a vibe. I was just like collapsed for most of it, and then we got up to go to bed at literally about 8 o'clock, and I walked into the bedroom and just like stopped dead, and he was like, "Are you all right?" I was like, no, I'm gonna be sick, and ran off to the bathroom.
Jacob was that traumatized by it. It was like, wow,
For God's sake.
I can't even be here for this anymore.
So yeah, that was our Valentine's Day. We ended it, and he got to listen to me throwing up violently in the toilet, and then
It was almost.
I went to bed.
It was almost as good as going down a gondola and having that man sing to you in like Venice.
And then I went to sleep, and Alan ran away in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep. I wasn't tired.
And I woke up at like 3 a.m. and I'd wrapped the blankets around me like a cocoon. So I like looked over and I was like, oh no. And then he wasn't there. So I was like, well, I guess it's fine then. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm seeing Chloe for Valentine's Day. Probably only for a little bit
relationship.
because I'm not very well. So I don't really want to throw up at someone else's house. So
I mean, you
I'm
could
gonna
and then
go
you don't
see
have
her.
to clean it. Like just
I
as
mean,
a leaving gift, just on the.
I do usually do it in the toilet, Alan.
Yeah, but
like,
this time on purpose, don't. Just go up to the bedroom.
What are you doing?
Pull the covers back, throw up, and then put the covers over so they don't know until they go to bed.
But yeah. Oh, hello. Sorry. But yeah, I feel like me and Alan are probably gonna have like a real Valentine's Day on Pancake Day.
The better day.
Like, because I was a bit too sick yesterday to really appreciate Valentine's Day. I was just kind of semi-passed out for the whole time we were watching Sabrina. So
It was good though.
yeah.
Did you know she's a teenage witch?
Well, now I do. Why'd you spoil it for me?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that's a very good segue into the next holiday then. Which,
Pancake Day.
hey.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for Pancake Day. It's one of my favorite holidays.
That's the
Like,
day I make myself sick.
yeah, to be fair, I always eat too many.
Yeah.
I always make like I make just enough and I eat them, and then I'm like, I'll have one more. And then I have that one and I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. Like, why did I do that? And then I'll make another and I'm like, no,
What
it's
doing?
going in the bin.
So I've already said
like-
on Twitter, I'm going to go for 30 minimum.
As a kid, I genuinely did though. As a kid, like I was telling Alan the other day, like when I was younger, my dad kind of did Pancake Day, and he made like pancake after pancake after pancake, either until we literally ran out, or until we physically couldn't eat anymore.
Hi, Cody.
Started already.
Who are you talking to?
Get off.
All right, I'm going. Bye.
Go on, get him.
I'm gonna finish what I'm saying and then I'm gonna kick off. So yeah, like, and as a kid, I genuinely would eat like into the 20 odds.
Yeah.
Like I would eat like 25 pancakes easy. I was tiny. Like I was like because as a kid, like I barely ate anything. Like get down. Yeah, as a kid I hardly ate anything, but Pancake Day came around and I would like literally like swallow them whole. It was like one of my favorite holidays. Like I genuinely believe that, like as a kid, and I think it still is. Like I love Pancake Day. So yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be good. Now get off the
Get him. Get him.
So the question I've got for it is, do you prefer like thick American style pancakes or thin UK style pancakes?
Thin.
Thin.
Okay. So out of this discussion, we have determined that the best pancakes are UK pancakes. Bye, Jacob. Have you changed your mind already?
No, thin.
Thin, still thin.
What a vibe. Yeah, so like, how was Pancake?
Yes.
How was Pancake Day for you guys as a kid?
Oh, it was wonderful.
I don't remember.
Oh,
Like
well.
I only remember my adult pancake days, which always happen the exact same way. I go, oh, we're gonna have pancakes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then I'll have loads of pancakes for breakfast, and I'll be too full for the rest of the day.
That's a vibe. I don't eat anything all day on Pancake Day. I just wait for tea, and then
Yeah,
I just eat
loads
pancakes all
of
day.
pancakes.
That's all I'll be doing.
Yeah, like you gotta
I
save
don't wait for them.
yourself.
No, I wake up, have pancakes. If I get
As a kid, I
hungry
did.
later on,
I'd have
make
pancakes for
pancakes.
breakfast. I'd go to school.
Yeah.
Like, it's pancake day, and then I'd like pay 10p for a pancake.
Yeah,
Then-
you would make one pancake at school.
Yeah. And then boom, for the rest of the day, I was fine. I need to sneeze. And then I'd get
Bless
home and eat
you.
more. Thank you. I'd get home and eat more pancakes.
Was that your mic, Sally, where it capped me out?
Probably.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
muted
know.
myself.
As Alan sneezed, I just heard a meow.
Actually, that was my sneeze. You don't know I'm a cat girl.
Don't even think about it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oi. But yeah, so obviously Pancake Day is followed directly by Lent, which I don't even know if you guys celebrate it or if you ever have.
I have done a few
Well,
times.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what have you given up and were you successful?
Chocolate, and yes, 'cause I don't eat much chocolate anyway.
That's cheating then.
Oh, I'm eating chocolate right now. To prepare
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks like chocolate that you're eating.
I swear to God, Kobe.
Are you getting it all in before Lent, Alan?
Mhm.
I've given up
Fine,
so
yeah.
much, like.
I'm gonna have to give
Um,
up work for like the whole of Lent. Do you reckon there's
You're
not?
making me so mad. um, One day I'm just gonna put Kobe on the podcast.
Just
I'm
have
not
him
coming. I'm just gonna let him run rampant.
get him his own little headset.
Do you know? I saw a TikTok that was like, apparently cats like interact with your headsets and your computers and laptops and stuff because they're trying to mimic you. So if you get them their own, they'll leave it alone. And then she like made it a mini laptop and it sat next to her on the mini laptop. And I was like, what?
This is a bit
He's like on the wall.
spider cat.
Oh my
Driving you
God.
up the wall more like.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, I've given up loads for Lent over the years. Like I've done chocolate. Like I used to eat a lot of chocolate, so like I used to give up chocolate quite a lot for Lent. Because obviously the idea with that is you get Easter eggs for Easter, so you can eat them at Easter. And I used to do that quite successfully, and it was a big deal because I ate a lot of chocolate. But I don't really eat a lot of chocolate anymore. I used to give up Coke all the time. Coca-Cola.
Just
Horrifying.
yeah.
No drugs, please.
Like, because obviously I drink a lot of that. Like, obviously now I'm trying to give it up anyway because I'm not supposed to have caffeine. So I guess if I haven't succeeded with that by Lent, then I'll give that up for Lent.
I might try fizzy drinks, like energy drinks.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm not really supposed to have any like fizzy drinks, I don't think. So maybe I'll do that. But yeah, I once gave up alcohol for Lent. That was probably the hardest one I ever did. Like obviously before I stopped drinking. That was probably the hardest one I ever did. And I think I was successful. I can't really remember. I know I did sober for October once, and I drank once within it because people can obviously donate to it, and if they can like buy you a golden ticket for like one free pass basically, and my mum bought me one for a gig with Ollie. But I feel like if she hadn't done that, I would have succeeded at it. Like, but yeah, like as a whole, I'm pretty successful at when I give stuff up, and I generally do it if I can think of something that I would struggle to give up. Like, but if I can't think of something that I would struggle to give up, then I don't really see the point, because it's one of them things. Like, if you're not going to struggle with it, there's not really any point.
What are you going to give up, Jacob?
I don't know. Probably nothing again.
Right, you're not allowed
It's
to
not
celebrate
usually-
Easter.
I
Or Pancake
don't.
Day even. You're not allowed to celebrate Pancake Day.
I can celebrate Pancake Day.
No, you're not allowed.
Okay,
I
I won't
mean-
celebrate Pancake Day. I'm just going to coincidentally eat pancakes on that day.
Yeah,
He has to celebrate Pancake Day, or he can't film it, Alan.
that's a good point. You know, I was talking to people that I work with. I'm like, who's excited for Pancake Day? And the response was, well, I'm an adult, so I can eat Hi, Kobe. I can eat pancakes whenever I want. I'm like, but my mum would tell me off. She'd know. Kobe,
Right.
the other way. He can't hear me, but he's going to anyway.
I feel like a lot of times you go to make pancakes, you're like, oh, this is a lot of effort, but for some reason Pancake Day doesn't feel like effort.
I mean, you can just buy the shaker things.
Yeah.
True, but they're not as good.
I think they are. Like, hi. Did you have input? You don't like pancakes. Yeah, I think they taste fine. And you can buy them all year round. So, like, I'm not gonna lie, if it's not Pancake Day, I get those. Because like sometimes I just feel like pancakes. But we said that for Pancake Day we're making legit pancakes.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I am looking forward to this.
yeah.
Yes.
Because it'd be a bit shit to film if we got the shaker ones.
Hi guys, we're going to show you how to make shaker pancakes.
What are you doing?
Let me type.
I've got some very good input. Let me do it.
Pain in the ass. How did we go backwards?
What, back to Pancake Day?
Yeah.
Because it's Pancake Day on Tuesday. That's all that's on our mind. Like, yes.
I forgot we'd moved on. I was like, we're going
we
on
moved on
Pancake
to
Day for quite a while here.
Yeah. We did Lent for like 5 minutes. Jacob's being lazy, not giving up anything.
I mean, I can give up alcohol, but I barely drink anyway.
Well, that's cheating.
Yeah, I know.
You can give up sitting down. Give up Final Fantasy.
I already did that for like 3 years until now.
Okay. Give up video games.
No.
Why?
Because COVID, what else am I supposed to do?
Read a book.
I've read all the books I own.
Buy a new one.
Don't have money.
I might give up uni.
That's a good shout.
I'd very much like to give up work.
You could play drums.
Yeah, when I can get to the room, which requires money, which I don't have.
Walk.
Oh, hello.
That requires effort that I don't have.
Just looking at Kobe now.
What was I going to say? You're being like extra annoying today.
Yeah, usually he waits until the end of the podcast.
Yeah, it's because he was ill
Yeah.
yesterday. I need to make up for yesterday.
Oh yeah, Kobe threw up yesterday as well.
Just
Oh.
before I got there. So I didn't have to deal with it. He's gone. That's enough for now.
He led down.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, so Easter, following on from Lent.
Easter. So much chocolate.
How is Easter for you? How did Easter used to be for you? Like, let's talk about Easter.
I just love getting Easter eggs to eat the chocolate. Like, I don't know what my favourite Easter egg is, though. It's going to be...
And mini eggs. I love
Mini eggs is great. I think it helps because you can't really get mini eggs rest of the year, can you?
Yeah.
Or at least not as easily.
Yeah.
I never see mini eggs anywhere until Easter.
Like, where is it we went the other day? Like yesterday, and like
But it's nearly
Yeah,
Easter.
because they're
Wilko.
preparing for Easter.
No, but Wilco as well, like always seem to have them. Tesco always seem to have them.
Tesco doesn't.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I was always one where when I was a kid, I just wanted the expensive eggs because they just flew into shot.
Yeah,
But I'd always want the really expensive eggs, but I'd never get them. And then when I became an adult and could buy the expensive eggs, I was like, these aren't as good as I thought they'd be.
No, they're not.
I feel like since I've been really disappointed, just haven't celebrated Easter.
oh. The only one that I know I wouldn't really like is cream egg because I'm not a big fan of cream eggs. I don't understand what the hype is.
Well, the cream egg Easter eggs, though, it's just a normal Easter egg, and then you just get a couple of cream eggs with it.
I don't like the cream eggs, though. It's a waste.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like those eggs I don't like. It's just like, oh, we're just going to give you a plain egg and a couple of chocolate bars with it for like.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
Quadruple the price of what it should be.
Dairy milk, done.
No, but if you buy them on offer, it's actually cheaper than buying chocolate a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I will buy Easter eggs after Easter's finished when they all go really cheap because they're trying to get rid of them all.
So, I
mean, it's currently February, so they're quite cheap anyway.
Yeah. I remember as a kid, you used to be able to get an Easter egg one Easter and it'd still be in date the Easter after. But now, now they're not. And I think that's a ploy to make you buy more Easter eggs at Easter, so you're not saving them for the year after. Going, well, I've already got 3 here somehow. 4 according to Cody, but
yeah, I remember like as a kid I used to get so many eggs, like, and now I'm an adult and I get like 1 off my mum and 1 off my significant other.
Who says that? I mean, I've already been seeing where they like the prices of them now. I'm tempted to get them all next month and be like, right, here we go, 30 eggs, done.
They'll probably be more expensive next month though.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe 10.
I'll get you 1, but I'll get you a big one.
Okay.
You
get like a selection box of Easter eggs.
Because I've got to buy like for all of my siblings.
Yeah.
And their significant others and my nephew. So yeah, you'll get 1, but you'll get a big one.
Oh, never had a big one before.
But yeah, and that's another thing. When you get older, you've got to buy them for other people. Yeah. Like when you were a kid, you didn't have to buy them, and you got like loads. And
yes.
You get older, and you get less, and you've got to buy more.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
Yeah, this is a grievance I'm definitely going to come on to when we get to Christmas.
Yeah.
It's an expensive
but yeah. But yeah, mini eggs are definitely my favourite. My only like issue with them is if you get a big one, well, I say a big one, like a medium one, like it comes with a cup. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want a cup. I just want the mini eggs.
I've still got some cups downstairs from like when I've got a few different like Easter eggs. But they're always small. They're always bad.
Everyone knows that mini eggs are my favourite. So like multiple people will get me a mini eggs egg and then I'll have multiple mini eggs cups. And I'm like, I don't even drink hot drinks.
At least you have a matching set of cups though.
Although last year my mum got me the big one and it comes in like a cylindrical tube and it just has mini eggs and the egg in, and I was like, perfect. This is heaven. Like, because like my only issue with the other ones like is if you get like the Nestle ones, like Smarties and stuff, like the Smarties are great, but then the egg is just an egg and it's just Nestle chocolate, and Nestle chocolate is not as nice as Cadbury's chocolate.
You get a Cadbury one, yeah.
Either Cadbury one or going like a big one, like a Lindor one or something like that.
I don't really like fancy chocolate.
I do.
I think it's too sweet.
I don't with most, but I really like Lindor.
I just like fancy. Did they do it for a Roche Easter egg?
I don't know,
Yeah?
but if they do, I want it.
Is that what you want?
That's the one I want.
find
Yes,
one.
please.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll
I'll
buy
find you
myself
one.
one.
That'd be the
Um,
best Easter egg. And forward a bit behind by a Toblerone one.
Okay. I will find you one of the two.
Okay.
If I can't get the first one, I'll get the other one.
Okay.
And they'll probably be big ones as well, so that's easy.
Yeah.
Like,
Done.
but yeah, like, I feel like Easter is one of those things, and like now, either I don't do anything for it, or like there's like a little buffet at my mum's or something. But like as a kid, we all went to Avenham for the big like Easter fair, and like I really miss that. Like,
What was it? Because I've legit never heard of this.
yeah, so every Easter Monday there's like a massive fair on Avenham,
Not this
and
year.
like there's loads of little stalls and games and stuff, and like people roll their eggs down the hill, and it's sick. And like when I was younger, my whole family used to go together, like every generation, like no matter the weather. And like one year there were like, I think it was like 4 generations of us sat there in the snow.
That sounds cool.
And like it was just sick. And like now we don't go anymore. And like for a couple of years I went with like my brother and stuff, but it just like wasn't really the same. And it sucks because like I want to take my kids someday, and I'm like, but I want the same vibe for them. Like I want my whole family to be there. So I miss that. I feel like that's something that's really changed for my family.
Well, before we carry on, I just want to say I'm disappointed in Cadbury's. They gave me a normal size.
Oh, raging.
Yeah, they gave me a normal size. It looks like I'm just holding them like different.
Right. We know what we're boycotting this year for Easter.
Cadbury's. Sort your shit out. That wasn't a giant button. Hold on. Okay, that's just a piece. That's fine. I remember like painting eggs as well.
Oh, I still do that. Well,
Boom.
with a marker, like, well, with multiple markers. Oh, I'm gonna find pictures and post them on Twitter later.
Okay. And then in primary school, making like they'd give you mini eggs, and you have to make like a nest with like little chicks.
Yeah.
On, put the mini eggs in, and you have to take that home. And the mini eggs never made it home because the mini eggs, and who doesn't love mini eggs?
Yeah.
It's top.
Yeah. So like we will have to do it this year, right?
Yeah.
But like whenever I make like the boiled eggs with the markers, like whoever like either if I've had a partner at the time or like one year, I'm gonna have to move Kobe in a minute. But one year I did it with my cousin as well, I think. We like draw them in the likeness of each other.
Okay, I'm down.
And then like we have a competition to see who wins, and like it's just really funny.
April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Like, the most annoying day of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
some funny times though.
There were some. It was never good to get pranked, but to prank was good. So I don't know if you guys went off this rule, but apparently it was a UK-wide rule that April Fool's Day only lasted till midday, and if you did a April Fool after midday, you were the fool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know in the US it's a full day of like April fooling people.
It's just one of those, isn't it? Where like I feel like it doesn't register for you straight away that it's April Fool's Day. There'll always be one thing where you see it, you get your hopes slightly up about it, and then you're like, wait 1 second, check the day.
As always, Half-Life 3. Always.
Yeah, or something along those lines. A new big game.
Yeah.
Or film.
What's if you remember any, because I don't, what's your most memorable prank you've ever pulled on someone?
I remember one, and Jacob was involved.
Was
he pranked or the pranker?
He helped me prank someone else.
Okay.
it was funny at the time. I would like to clarify that I don't stand by this prank now. Like at the time, I didn't really understand that this wasn't funny, and like I would never prank someone with this anymore because it's not a funny joke. But we convinced someone that I was dating at the time, very briefly, that I was pregnant with his child, even though we'd never done anything.
Well,
Oh,
ow.
I remember this now. I remember why I don't remember this.
Oh my god. And it was funny. It was hilarious. Like, just, it was funny because of the context.
Yeah, because nothing
Like,
had happened. It
Because
was
nothing
funny.
had happened between us. It is never funny to joke about being pregnant.
No.
Like, and looking back, I am aware of that. But like, when I was younger, it seemed funny at the time, and it was the context of the fact that we'd never done anything together and that he believed it fully and in its entirety, and he was so serious about it all, and we were just like
I don't get how you believed it.
I
Some
can't
people-
remember how we pulled it off, but we really pulled it off, and we were so serious about it, and I don't know how we were because
I think, didn't we?
we're
I
very
don't know.
serious people.
I don't know what we said, but I feel like we'd like logistically worked out a way that it could have been possible.
Well, no, it wouldn't have been, but for like young people,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
we'd like made it seem like it was.
You remember when you had
Like-
my hand?
Yeah, it was
You don't wear
something to
gloves.
do with the transference on a hand. I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
but
Oh.
that's the only one I can ever remember.
I don't
Like-
remember any. Like, I've got like a few things that are flashing into my head, but I'm like, no, that was clearly just a movie or a TV show. I never did that. I'm not cool.
I don't know. Like the one I've got that isn't actually an April Fool's Day prank, but I can say it is.
Is it your relationship?
And it's for instance, yeah. So it's not actually basically, me and my partner, our anniversary is the 1st of April. We didn't mean for it to be that. Like, we would kind of seen each other for a while before that, and then we just decided on a random day, oh, let's make this official then. And we put it all on Facebook and everything like that to make it official. And that's when we realized that it was the 1st of April.
I'm just waiting till your wedding day. Like, I'm the best man or something. And Jacob just wants me to add April Fools. Go home, everybody.
Seeing how long it can go on for. No, it's not an actual joke. I need to preface that. I'm not a dick.
Well,
I'd never actually
no.
do that.
Let's just correct that. You are a dick.
I am a dick, but I'm not
But
that
your
much of a
relationship's
dick.
not a joke.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm like not normally a fan of April Fools. I think it was the influence of me and Jacob together and just the weirdness of mine and this other person's relationship
Yeah.
that just cemented that prank at the time. Like, I normally hate April Fools, like, and as I've gotten older, I feel like I hate it more. Like,
I feel like it's mainly now for like younger people, like who pranking their friends and stuff like that, or like people who, no matter what they say, loads of people will believe them. So that's why like a lot of like media
Yeah.
outlets and stuff will still do April Fools every year because they get the amount of people.
Like, just
Basically, it's a day for extra clicks, isn't it?
That's it.
yeah.
We should change April Fool's Day, like, to something less pranky. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but then someone should. But then people might prank every day. It's like the Purge, innit? But for pranks.
Like, what if you like gave everyone a spring flower? Like, instead of pranking them, you just give them a daffodil.
Then people will end up making that into a prank.
Right? But at least you get a daffodil. I don't know. It's a nice idea.
I feel like you value daffodils way higher than most people.
Have you seen how much they are in shops?
No, I've never really gone into shops and gone, how much is the price for a single daffodil?
I like daffodils. I think they're cute. I
Yeah,
used to pick them on
daffodils.
my way home from my mum.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's understandable because
I'm
it's
not sure
daffodils
people
plural.
whose gardens I picked them from thought so, but
He's back again, the daffodil thief. One day I'm gonna go out there. No, you
Someone's
won't.
watching the
I'm gonna go
podcast. They're
out
just like,
there.
"That was mine."
Excuse me, will you put that back?
Is this it? We're gonna get cancelled because we have the daffodil thief.
That's it. Oh, Sally, what have you done to us? We're gonna have to go around all these gardens now and give them daffodil seeds. Like, I'm really sorry.
They're bulbs and they grow back.
Oh, okay. I'm really sorry for all these years ago where I took a single daffodil from your garden and here I have two.
I was really careful. I was like, I was proportional. I was like, how many does this person have? Proportionally, how many can I then take?
I think
Get off the TV! What are you doing? Get
I think no
down!
matter what, that answer should be 0. You should take 0.
Get down!
I don't know. If someone had 3 million daffodils,
Well, I think there'd be a reason they had 3 million daffodils. What if they're in a competition and it's like, right, so the world record is 2,999,999. How many have you got? I've got 3 million. Well, we've just counted them. You're actually too short. You've not won the world record having the most amount of daffodils because Sally Marie came round and took 2.
what if the person was really OCD and had a specific amount, and then you ruined it?
Yeah. Just there, like having to go buy more daffodils. You're like, oh my god, it's like a never-ending supply. But no,
What if there's 100, and then Sally's like, "Oh, they won't mind if I take 1," and they come back and they just see it and go, "There's 99. I can't deal with this."
to a flower shop. The garden centre's closed. No.
That's so funny. Like, you're making me out to be this terrible person, guys. I just
You're the
wanted to
daffodil
pick on
thief.
daffodils.
Can we get some artwork of Sally stealing daffodils? I'd love
Yeah.
that. I'd love that.
I wish I could draw just to make that.
We'll have to ask Ellie.
Yeah.
Sally steals the daffodils and then sells them, and Alan is asking how much for a single daffodil.
Oh, you know, it took a while to get it on this black market.
Black market daffodil sales. Why don't you just buy them somewhere else? Because I only want one.
Alan's gonna come round at some point in spring. I'm gonna have daffodils on my windowsill, and he's gonna be like, "Can't believe you stole them." I'm gonna be
I
like,
didn't
"I
get them."
bought them. I bought them."
Don't know if I can trust you again with that, Sally.
Look, I've got the receipt. You could have made that yourself. You got a printer.
What is your problem?
Oh.
What is up with my cat today?
He's making up for the yesterday of not being able to torment you. It was like today.
He's ripping up paper. Like,
Oh my god!
What?
I just heard the thud. What did he do?
please stop.
Why can't you do like Tiara and just roll over?
She's literally just led on the cat tree watching him like, what the fuck? Hate my life.
Mayday. We're going down. Mayday.
Yeah, so Mayday. I think Mayday really interests me because I feel like as you get older, it's just insignificant.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is, like other than a day off work.
Yeah, but as a kid, did you not like dance around a maypole at school?
No. It was like just
Okay,
you.
I feel like you were probably one of the only people.
No, like I like my whole school didn't do it. Like, I don't know what you meant to do for Mayday, other than dance around a
Okay,
pole.
well, most primary schools did that. Like, you would dress up really fancy,
Right,
and then girls would like carry a little like posy of flowers,
right.
and then there would be a maypole with ribbons off it, and you would hold a ribbon, and then you would do special dances, and it would intertwine all the ribbons in a special way around the maypole, and it would just look really fancy. And then like you would like pick a May Queen, and like I think there was a May King as well, but I don't feel like he was important if he was.
Is the king
and
ever?
like-
It wasn't.
And it was just like, and you would do like a little procession, And it was just like really significant in school. Like May Day was just really significant. And then like you get to high school and it just doesn't exist anymore.
I mean,
And
I
it's
think
like,
it takes something to get year 11s dancing around a pole.
yeah, I don't mean it's a bad thing. It's just gone. It's like you're in primary school and they're like, this is really important.
this will affect the rest of your life.
You must dress up. This is basically like a ball.
I feel like I missed out, to be honest.
And then like
Have our own.
you get to high school and they're just like,
We'll get all the band together. We'll get our own maypole, right? And we'll do it ourselves. You have to teach us the dance though, because
I don't know any of them. Like it changed every year. Every year did a different one.
we'll Google it. We'll Google a maypole dance.
But yeah, like, and then I think obviously as you get older, there's like the May bank holiday.
Is it like the first Monday of May?
I have no idea.
Something.
Yeah, it
Never
is.
affected me.
It affects me now because I get bank holidays off, so
I get 50% of bank holidays, so it's coin flip.
clearly
I have always worked in customer service.
Yeah, well, I've moved away.
No extra pay, no days off for bank holidays.
Oh, yeah, I've moved away from that now, haven't I? So I'm chill. But yeah, I guess May Day is a day that I sadly missed and feel like I've kind of
I
my
hated
childhood.
it. As a kid, I hated it. It was like this big fancy thing, and like
I'd have loved it. I love dressing.
I thought it was so embarrassing as a kid. I was like, and like when you were doing the procession, you had to hold hands with whoever your partner was. And like it was just a bit cringy actually looking back. My mum's got a picture of me, and like you were paired up with someone who was like the same height as you, so that it all looked right.
All right, cheers, Kobe. He's still going. He's like, look at the kitchen.
Get off the desk.
They don't feed me. There's food in the bowl, but they don't feed me.
So yeah, and like my mum's got this picture of me like walking around the playground in a dress and a cardigan, holding hands with this guy, Adam, I think it was, who was also short. And like I'm sure he's scowling in it. And I don't look like impressed either. But it was like a yearly occurrence that like we had to do this. And just what the fuck?
Yeah, I legit didn't know that was a thing until you said it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So maybe it was just your school. They're like, how can we get them to interact more? I know. Let's do May Day.
No, I feel other schools in my area definitely did it. Like,
you know what? When I have a kid and we're looking for schools, the first question I'm going to ask is, do you do May Day? Because if it's a no, they're not going there.
maybe they don't do it anymore though, as well. Like, because I feel like that'd be a bit weird now.
Well, it depends as well. Like, if like depending on the age, if that child feels uncomfortable around the opposite sex, then yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you get to choose yourself now, but you got to be the same height. You just got one kid there who's like had a massive growth spurt, they're like 7 foot, and everyone else is like 4 foot tall. It's like, well, who do I go with? Take a mirror.
That's so bizarre, but so funny as well.
Well, at least
like looking back and having described it, I'm realizing how bizarre it was and how like
it sounds like you're doing a bit of a ritual, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that makes me think of is you know the nursery rhyme Ring Around the Roses. I'm pretty sure like there's an image, like some images that I've seen like when I was younger of that where they're dancing around the maypole.
You realise that rhyme is about the plague, right?
Yeah, I know, but like I'm seeing an image in my head that is basically just a maypole, and I'm seeing Ring Around the Roses. But obviously,
yeah, it is like a traditional thing to like dance around a maypole, but I feel like getting us to do it in school
Hmm.
may have been because we had what was it called? I don't know if they still do it, but it coincided. I'm sure it coincided with the big like carnival that came to our
Okay.
village, but I might be wrong. That might have been closer to summer.
Did you go to like a secular school? Or did you go to like a Catholic or a Church of England?
Yeah, Church of England.
See, I was going to say maybe that was it, but I also went to a Church of England school, and well, we'll phone them up later and ask them like, yo, why did you make kids dance around a pole, like holding hands and ribbons? Was this all just for your amusement?
I mean, basically, yeah.
How stupid can we make kids look? We won't give them sports day, but we'll give them a pole and some ribbon. They'll be fine.
We had sports day.
Okay.
Like, we had everything, apparently.
A fancy school you went to.
um,
I mean, you got the interactive whiteboards before everyone else, we found out last week.
maybe we just got everything because we were in like a really crap area. Like,
Quick, keep them in,
like,
involved in
how
stuff.
can we like make things the best? I know, let's get them to dance.
Let's get them to dress up in dresses and dance around a pole with ribbons. That's beautiful. Keeps kids out of trouble. This.
I'm legit shocked. I can't believe other people didn't do that.
Yeah. Maybe you just dreamt it all. Maybe May Day doesn't exist.
I mean, if there weren't pictures,
yeah, that's a fair point.
Like,
what if it's just something your mum made you do? Like, just I don't know.
The whole school did it, Alan.
Your mum's got a lot of influence.
Moving swiftly on, we might as well talk about Mother's Day and Father's Day, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously I feel like they don't affect us massively, but like, I feel like, do you feel like every kid goes through that phase when they're younger where somebody tells them, you should cook your mum breakfast in bed?
Oh no.
And like, some take it more seriously than others. But I took it very seriously. And like, to be fair, I'm pretty sure I only made a toast. But like, yeah.
So I once did Mother's Day really well and made mum breakfast in bed. And then for Father's Day, I was at my dad's. And me and my, I guess, stepsisters, but not through, like, they never got married, but they're like stepsisters. One of them woke me up and went, we're going to go make your dad a cake. Like, okay. So we went downstairs and we started making this cake. And we thought, shit, we don't have time to like bake it. Let's put it in the microwave.
Oh
So
no.
we made a cake in the microwave and it didn't turn out well.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
It wouldn't.
Yeah, it smelled weird. Didn't smell like cake. Didn't look like cake. And I'm guessing it didn't taste like cake by the look on his face. But yeah.
Oh, but he actually tried to eat it.
He tried it and then like, yeah, it ended up in the bin.
I feel like that there's something to be said about parents in that respect. Like, if you go to effort for them on like
Even if you
Mother's and
microwave
Father's
it.
Day, like, especially when you're a kid, they really made the effort for you
Yeah.
to like appreciate what you gave them. Like,
I made you some macaroni artwork. Oh, this will go on the fridge. Thank you. Never looks at it again.
yeah. Oh, to be fair, right, this isn't about Mother's Day, but I made her something when I was like a little girl. And like, it was like my handprints on like a piece of paper. And there used to be a little note in like a pocket on it, but the note went missing. Don't know where that went. But on the thing, there was like a poem. And all I can remember is the end of it. And it said, and now on Christmas Day, I am giving this you see with a tiny note that says lots of love from me. There was more to it, but that was what the end said. And she had it hanging above her bed for like all of my childhood and like some of my like early adult life.
That's cute.
And like, I was like, this is so cute. She's still got like pretty much everything I've ever made her or drawn for her or whatever, just kind of filed away somewhere. But I feel like for most of her life, she got candles off me for Mother's Day. Like, as I've gotten older, like, she obviously collects certain things, and now she gets like additions to that, or she gets like Pandora beads or whatever. And like, I've got more of an idea of what to actually get her that she'll appreciate more. But like, for so much of her life, she got candles, and it was like, does she really appreciate these? Is she actually getting through these? Like Mother's Day,
She just kept
Christmas,
them all. Like, I
her
can't do it.
birthday. She's not allowed them in her house anymore.
Oh, I
So,
Kara's like, I heard candles.
She came like flying in.
And then, yeah, I feel like Father's Day is a difficult one because obviously my dad passed away.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was before I started properly buying things.
Get her.
Leave her alone. Let her go. And I feel like it's very complicated growing up when, like, obviously a new man comes into the picture.
This is my box.
And I feel like I definitely struggled a lot with that at first. Like me and my mum definitely came to blows over that about like she at the beginning she very much wanted me to buy things for him for Father's Day, and I really didn't. Like, it's not that I don't love him, like I really do, but like I buy him stuff for Christmas and his birthday, but I feel like I felt like I was betraying my dad's memory by buying him things for Father's Day. But then I felt like I was being what's the word, kind of pushed into it by my mum, because obviously I was younger at the time. And then there was like a short period where I rebelled and didn't, which made it really complicated and awkward because then I'd already been buying him things. So it kind of came across in a really negative way. Like I'd suddenly fallen out with him or something, where the actual reality was that I felt like I'd become an adult and I was able to make my own choice. And I'd always wanted to make that same choice, but hadn't felt like I was able to. And now I do, and it's of my own free will. Like I feel like it's more of an appreciation thing, and I've come to terms with that. I'm like, you know what, like I do appreciate him, and he's my stepfather, and they now make stepfather cards, whereas back then they didn't. So it was very difficult for me to kind of find that middle ground. And I obviously do appreciate him, and I do love him as a stepdad. And I now find it easy to make that connection and to buy him those things. But I think when I was younger, I found that really difficult. And like, obviously, I think part of it probably was like my bipolar affecting it. Because obviously I do have difficulty with relationships. how to word it, and like how to manage those connections and what's right and wrong to do. But I think obviously that's been a big change for me over the years with that, and it hasn't necessarily been a smooth one. But it's all good now. I mean, obviously it's still hard because obviously I spend quite a bit of it at the grave, and I cry like every year, which is dope. But yeah, you know, one day I'll have kids of my own and I can be like buying stuff for their father. So it's chill. I feel really dopey now. I feel like my meds have slowly been hitting, and I'm just like.
So we'll move on to Jacob and what he's got to add about the 2 days.
Yeah, someone else, please talk.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you or anything. So, like, I don't know, it's awkward. So I've never really done presents for either. It's always been, because I've always lived with my mum, I've always done something for Mother's Day. So usually it's, right, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to, like, I think this year just gone, I completely did the front garden for her. Made it look all nice, did all the weeding and everything, planted some stuff. And it's usually just stuff like that, just stuff around the house, like stuff that you can't buy. Well, you can, but you know, like just nice things.
Like actual actions rather than presents.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like it's hard to buy for people sometimes. I find like,
especially if she's like my mum. Do you want anything? Do you need anything? No, everything's good. I don't need anything. Okay, is there anything you want? No, I'll be fine. It's like, just tell me what you want. I will get it.
Yeah. No, exactly. So I usually do, like, I'll spend all year thinking about what to get her for birthday and Christmas. I don't have time to do that for Mother's Day as well, so I'll just do something for her.
Yeah.
Even if, like, there's so much she doesn't need, even if that's just paying for a meal or something. Just something a little bit nice. Father's Day, because I've barely lived with my dad. I think I lived with my dad for a few years. I've never really celebrated it or anything, or done much for it. It's usually just I'll speak to my dad on the day. 1 second.
Yeah, while he's away, I don't tend to celebrate Father's Day. So I've got my stepdad, but I'm in the same kind of boat as you, where it feels weird in essence to get him anything. But Mother's Day, I always try and do my best. Like, my mum's raised me basically on her own from like the age of 4 to the age of like, I think my mum and stepdad got together when I was like 13. So, it was like a solid at least 9 years there. So everything I can do for her, I will do. Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Moving directly on pretty much from what I was saying, because depressed. Christmas kind of sucks for me. To be fair, it's been getting better the last like 2 years, but it's not great overall. Because like when I was like younger, my dad pretty much did Christmas. Like he did it like with my mum, but I feel like it was very much like his thing. Like he was a big advocate of Christmas, and like I have like really fond memories of him like popping the cork over the table and it like shooting off and nearly smacking people over the head, and like champagne pouring all over his dinner and stupid things like that. But then like my biggest memory of him is like, and my biggest memory of Christmas is like going to the hospital with all of my presents in a sack and sitting on his bed to open them. because he was in hospital with cancer, and like it's just one of those things, like that kind of thing never really fades, and like every Christmas following it is tainted.
Yeah.
And it's like it's so hard to get to sleep on Christmas Eve and not like stay up crying all night, and then Christmas Day is like exhausting for me. Like it'll get to like 5 p.m. and I'll be like passing out tired, even if I have slept the night before, because I'm just drained from getting through the day. But like, don't get me wrong, like the one just gone and the year before were like a lot better than recent ones have been. But like pretty much every year prior to that, I was like sobbing and Ollie was angry, and coming together, it doesn't make for the best combination on a day that's already pretty stressful for people trying to get everything done. But like I enjoy the food, and like I enjoy seeing my family, and like I love like giving gifts. Like I enjoy finding the right gifts for people, and like I'm very grateful for Christmas because like I do get a lot. Like my mum does a lot at Christmas. Like she gets us a lot of presents. Like I feel like compared to a lot of people my age, I'm very lucky in terms of how much I do get. And I do appreciate that a lot. But I just feel like it's one of those days where it's like never gonna get better, because
Yeah.
I've just got this memory of spending Christmas in the hospital with my dad, and then he died like what 20
25, 26 days later.
yeah, I can't count.
I think it's 31 in December, isn't it?
Yeah, 26
Yeah.
days later. And it sucks because that whole time of year is just hell for me. Yeah.
So
Oh, go on.
I remember Christmas as a kid. It's nothing like this now, and I kind of wish it was. Where for Christmas Day, my whole family, like absolutely everybody, would go around to my grandma's. We'd all have food. We'd play Monopoly, get annoyed at each other, try to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, because I was a kid, I didn't understand it. So I played Who Wants to Be a Millionaire kids version, still lost. And then for Boxing Day, we'd go around to my auntie's, and there'd be 30 or 40 of us all sat on the floor in a big circle playing silly card games. And you go into the kitchen, like there's a homemade buffet in there and stuff like that. But in recent years, it's just been like last year, it was me, my stepdad, and my mum sat in what was my old bedroom, but like there's now a dining room. Which, just to be clear, I had a downstairs bedroom in that house. We didn't move the dining room upstairs and have to carry the food upstairs. But even my sister didn't come because her partner had to work, and obviously her kids now have just turned 1, so it was kind of her first Christmas. So it's not Christmas is shit, basically, is what I'm trying to say. For me, it used to be a really exciting time of year where I was allowed a lager shandy and I could see all of my family, but I barely see anyone now.
Yeah, that's shit. No, I think like thinking back, I think when I was a kid, we'd have the day with just like me, my mum, my dad, my brother, my sister, and then we'd go over to my auntie's for dinner, and then we'd always, I think usually the 27th or the 28th of December, we'd have all the family from like all over the country come over for and we'll go out for a meal and stuff like that. Which is the one thing. Well, I was going to say the one tradition we've kept going every year up until this year. The Christmas just gone because of COVID. Couldn't do that. But now it's since my little sisters have been born. I always spend it with my dad and my little sisters. So I think that's like the main thing I get out of Christmas now is obviously seeing them go through the, being young, having all those presents, the excitement they get. They're still like trying to wake us up at like 6 a.m, like, oh, it's Christmas, Santa's been. And then I'll usually my mum works the morning, and then I'll go back home afterwards and have Christmas dinner at home. And then me and Jade will like make dinner together. I say make dinner. I'll help prep. She does the actual cooking.
I'm glad, to be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, and then apart from that, it's just seeing a couple of people. Obviously, with it being me and Jade now, it's like got to go see her side of the family as well. So it's like double the amount of people. So it's like it gets very hectic.
Yeah.
But it's still all right. My one grievance with it growing up is just the fact that it doesn't matter how many presents you get and what cool stuff you get, you're always in a loss over Christmas because you've always spent more overall on other people than you receive.
Definitely.
So it's the same thing we were saying with Easter before about now that you have to buy the eggs, and now that you're buying the presents for everyone. It's
what's your favorite present you've ever received?
I don't know. Like, there are some things like I remember. So like, because my dad's always been like on it with technology, it's always been like Christmas, all this new technology's out. Oh, have all this. So like there was one year where he got me the original Xbox when that first came out, and I remember being like super hyped as a kid about that. I don't know. I think because a lot of it is like, because it gets to the point where it's just like, oh, what do you want for Christmas?
Yeah.
So I think that was the best one I can think of where it was I didn't know what was coming. And I think my dad did it in the way where he like gave me a game, because I think I had a PS2 at the time. So he gave me an Xbox game to open first. I open it and I'm like, but Dad, I don't have an Xbox. And then he's like, oh yeah, here you go. Pass me the presents one route, which was the Xbox. Making me believe that he just bought it for the wrong thing for a while. So that's one that sticks out in my head.
Yeah. What about you, Sally?
I think it's very hard to say because, like, I've had a lot over the years, and like some of them I choose myself, and some of them are chosen for me. Obviously, the year just gone, I got my ring fixed, which was very important to me. So I think that definitely meant a lot. I think definitely the ones that mean a lot, I value a lot more. I think in terms of like when I was younger, I got my first laptop for Christmas, which meant a lot at the time because obviously I could like play games and it brought me a lot of privacy. So
Yeah.
that was like a big one that meant a lot to me. But I think probably getting my ring fixed was a big recent one, because even though I know it didn't cost that much in the grand scheme of things, like to me it means like the world. So yeah. What about you?
So mine's got a bit of a story behind it, which for me, regardless of what it was, it's because it's what I wanted, and what my mum did to get it just makes it even better. So around the Christmas that I got it, we just had to move out of the house that I grew up in due to it's hard to say, but basically we had people knocking on the door that weren't for my mum, but we had to move to avoid accruing all of this debt that somebody else had left there. So we just moved house, where I ended up having to sleep in the attic, which, looking back, I chose to sleep there, just to be clear, but we couldn't fit my bed frame up there, so I was sleeping on a mattress. Basically, if there was a fire in the house, I'd have died because the window wouldn't have fit me through. It was impossible to get down the stairs. When we'd moved, the electrics in the house were faulty, so we'd had to buy a new TV so we could have a TV. We had to buy a new cooker, basically a whole new kitchen, microwave, kettle, everything. My mum had just changed jobs to a lower paid job, and basically we had nothing. And I was very adamant that I wanted an original Xbox, and the whole time I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't afford it. And it was, I think, the third present I opened, I get this box. And also, I know everything that's been going on, and I wasn't expecting it. But I just peel it back and I see the Xbox logo. And basically, my mum had done a lot of extra work and asked favours and pretty much put her life on hold just so that I could get what I wanted. And at the time, we had nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. Like I said, everything was broken. We had to pay for new electricity in the house. And I was just amazed. And I kept that for years. And yeah, it's probably it is the best present I've ever got.
Oh, that's really sweet. Right. What was next after Christmas? Did we want to, or is there anything anyone else wants to say about Christmas?
Yeah, what did you leave out for Santa and Rudolph?
Honestly, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure once my sister's been born and I knew it wasn't Santa.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, I'm pretty sure I recall my stepmom being like, "Oh, leave out cookies and Santa, cookies and milk for Santa, cookies and milk for Santa," and my dad would just be like, "No, he likes beer."
So I've got stories about this, right? Like, my mum made things really magical for me as a child. Like, she bought like reindeer food that we went and sprinkled on the path. She bought like a magic Santa key that we like hung on the door, and like we left stuff out for Santa, like cookies and like carrots for the reindeer and milk and everything. And like she used to write letters from my tooth fairy and stuff, and I would write letters back, because obviously I collected fairy ornaments. I was obsessed with fairies, right? But one year, because I was like slightly naughty, she wrote me an aggressive letter from Santa saying that I wasn't getting any presents.
Oh no.
And I had a massive breakdown. Like a massive breakdown. She said she'd never felt that guilty in her life.
Yeah.
Like, because I was a really good kid. Like a really good kid. I was so well behaved. I did really well at school. And then I was like naughty like once. And she wrote me this really nasty letter from Santa saying that I was on the naughty list and that I wasn't getting any presents that year. And I was crying my heart out. And I've never been so traumatized in my life, and I've never forgotten it. Never. That has stuck with me for my whole life, even though I know it wasn't Santa. Like, no.
So because there's a roughly similar age difference between Sally and Ollie and me and my sister. I obviously, when I was young, got to experience it all, and then as I grew up and I grew out of it, obviously we still had my sister, so got it for a few extra years. And when it got to around, at first it was like, yeah, he loves mince pies and milk, and you leave a carrot and you'd go down and like half a mince pie would be gone, half the glass of milk and half the carrot, just so you knew he was there, like they hadn't just been put away. But then when it got around to my sister, it's like, well, my sister's like, should we leave out milk for Santa? No, he likes Baileys. So, and my mum was a big fan of Bailey's, and obviously I knew she was drinking it, and obviously my sister's like, yeah, let's go get some Bailey's. We'll get him pissed on his trip around the world.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so he gets milk everywhere. Let's give him something special.
I do love it when parents like add little things like that, like little personality bits. It's always funny.
So funny.
Oh, well, while we're still on Christmas, actually, I have just thought of something I got one year that I'd completely forgotten until now. But it was so my dad at the time was working for Preston North End, and he was building he was running the building of part of the stadium. And what he did was he wanted to get me because at the time he was trying his best to get me to support Preston North End, and he wanted to get me like a framed player shirt. But the shop had run out of them completely. So what he did was he got his contacts who were helping him like with the building of the stadium to get him in touch with the owner, who got him in touch with the players, and he basically bought a shirt, managed to pass it round through all the players and get them all to personally sign it, and then he framed that and gave me that. Nice. So I think that was something that now that I've remembered it, is like I like the effort you went through for that. Yeah. For something like, I think if the shop had it, you could buy it for like 100 quid or something like that. But obviously because it wasn't there, he's gone through all that effort. So I do appreciate that as well. And I'm pretty sure that still exists somewhere at my dad's.
All right. New Year.
Yes.
So I'll start with this one. I've been letting you take it, but I want to go first.
That's fine. So it's better if I go last for this one, probably.
Yeah. New Year, I've kind of celebrated. Like, not much. There was... How many years ago now? Many years ago now. It was just after I'd left uni. So it had been about 5 years ago, because I lived here. And we ended up going to Liverpool for a house party, getting lost on the way. Like, we got a taxi somewhere, but they lived like in the middle of nowhere on the outskirts of Liverpool. And I just remember walking down country lanes, not knowing anywhere where we are. We found it, and I have a 3D video somewhere, and I was dressed up, because it was a fancy dress one, dressed up as Willy Wonka. And yeah. But last year was better. Well, this year was better. It's probably it is the first year I've kissed somebody on midnight. So,
aww.
Yeah. And we had like Christmas dinner, so it was even better. That's my third Christmas dinner.
I feel like it just kind of elevates it, doesn't it, if you have a bit of Christmas on it as well.
It does. Christmas and New Year, because we also did present changes then as well.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, so New Year for me, like, it's never really been a big thing. Like, so as a kid, I don't think it was really a big thing. I know I definitely did celebrate it a little bit, just a few times. Like, there were definitely a few times where I kind of sat downstairs with my parents, but it was never like a huge deal for me. Like, most of the time I just went to bed. And then when I was with like my first like serious boyfriend, we used to babysit. Like, we had this deal with like his mum that, because like she went out and like his older siblings went out, we would babysit, and she would like pay us and buy our takeaway and stuff, because we didn't really celebrate, and we were like, this is a great deal. Like,
yeah,
we get our takeaway, we get money, we get alcohol, we get anything we want, and we just babysit for the night. It's chill. Like, no worries. And then I don't think I ever like celebrated it. Like, I don't think I ever went out for it. Because at that point, while I was like babysitting for it, I always lived with somebody, so they could kind of keep an eye on the cat or cats at the time, whatever, depending on the year, obviously. And then after that ended, oh no, to be fair, there was 1 year where I wasn't at home. That was an awkward year. But yeah, so I don't normally celebrate it. And then there was the 1 year I did, where my friend was having a New Year's party, and it was very, very awkward. Like, me and this friend of mine had basically agreed that we were going to be each other's New Year's kiss because we hadn't had one before. And then I went to the party and got very drunk very quickly and threw up and passed out. And then at midnight, he essentially like shook me awake and kissed me.
Right.
And it was a bit uncomfortable and
Yeah.
awkward. And I was like, me and him aren't friends anymore for a number of reasons, but yeah, so I moved on from that and was like, yeah, no. And then didn't celebrate again because like I prefer to stay home with my cats because of fireworks and stuff. Like, neither of them are big fans of fireworks, so I obviously try and look after them. I think I got Ollie to stay with them that year. And then obviously this year Alan came around and we had Christmas dinner and exchanged gifts, and it was all very gay and very cute. And we kissed at midnight, and I was conscious for it.
That always helps.
You know, it was a consensual choice.
Just because I was watching the clock as well.
Yeah, he was. He kept checking. It was so cute. But yeah, and it was like a really nice New Year, and I really enjoyed it. Like, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, but when I don't celebrate that much anymore. When I was a kid, my dad would, I don't know, it was like we'd go out and we'd always go bowling for it, because they'd always have like a midnight bowling thing where it'd go on past midnight for New Year. But I always found that when I was a kid, I was always too tired for it, because I'm always there like, I just want to go to bed. I know we can't leave until after midnight, so I'm just there like, oh, it's 11 o'clock, hurry up. But then I feel like I don't. So I do sometimes. I'll go out, but I generally don't celebrate it that much. Mainly because I just despise January. So I feel like it's like, because it's the start of January, I don't really want to celebrate it. I mean, I can explain why I despise January so much. If like, is there anything else anyone wants to say on New Year?
No.
Right. So we'll go on to birthdays then. So I don't celebrate my birthday either, because it being in January. Basically, so my brother passed away in January. He had dystrophic dysplasia, which is a form of dwarfism, and it just got to the point where his body just couldn't cope anymore. So I think he passed away 2 days before my birthday. So since then, it's like not only my birthday, but like anything in January, it's hard to do anything. I mean, I'm sure Sally obviously feels the same way with everything that she's dealt with. I know that we obviously bonded quite a bit in school through our shared, bad experiences. Because yeah, I think from what I remember, I think I found out about him passing away on my birthday. So obviously that doesn't help. So I don't know. January's just kind of a write-off in many ways. My nan also passed away in January as well, and it ended up that her funeral was the day after my 18th birthday. So yeah, January's a shit show. I feel like in my head I had more to say about my birthdays and stuff, but yeah, it's shit.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when there's the most to say, there's the least to say.
Yeah.
You know that there's a world of things that you could say, but when you actually open your mouth, you're like, I just don't want.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Like when I speak about it, like it makes me kind of want to go on and talk about my brother and how much he meant to me and everything like that. But at the same time, it's like, well, one, it's not exactly relevant to the podcast itself, but two, it's more like I don't want the trigger for me talking about that being his death, if that makes sense. Like, I'm weird with it. Like when it comes to his birthday, I'm more like celebrating him. Obviously, when on the anniversary of death, I do celebrate him, but that's more of a like be sad about it kind of day.
Yeah.
And I think I've just conditioned myself to be like that. Or also just be kind of sad all day, every day for like forever.
yeah.
So I feel like I've conditioned myself to. So like every year it gets to January and I'm just like, right, let's just get through this. And then luckily, I feel like this is the 1 year where January's just flown.
It has. It really has. It's just disappeared the whole way.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And to be fair, February's halfway through now.
Yeah. Like February's a short month as it is as well, so there's not long left.
Well, we're halfway. So
We're almost at the COVID anniversary.
Would you like to talk about your birthday, Sally?
Yeah, I can do. Yeah, so my birthday is obviously in November. Not too long before Alan's. I don't know. My birthday, like I really do celebrate my birthday. I think I make such a big deal out of my birthday because I struggle for such a long time afterwards. Like through the whole of December and January, I really struggle. Just because I've got the anniversary of a friend's death and my great granddad's death and my dad's death. Through December and January, and it's cold and it's dark, and my bipolar just takes a dive into the depression side. And I think for me, my birthday comes around in November and I celebrate it for like at least a week, but like usually like 2. And I take the opportunity to celebrate with like my family, but also with like my various friend groups, and I do like a bunch of different stuff. And I don't know, I just like, not every aspect of it is easy, but I do really enjoy it. Like I make sure like I do enough and I stay really busy and just vibe. I think this year, like last year, was very hard. I really struggled being in lockdown for my birthday. Because of how much I normally do. I think it really kind of knocked me back, and I was like, great. Like I can't see anyone or do anything. But yeah, like normally I do celebrate and I make a big deal out of it, and I feel like a part of that is definitely because of like subconsciously knowing what's about to come, and just trying to enjoy what to me I feel like is the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like I feel like to me December and January are like this separate entity. Like they're not part of the year to me. There's something I dread coming up, and I count them as a separate timeline. Like once they hit, I'm like, right, I've got to get through these 2 months, and then it's the year. Then that's when the year starts for me, kind of thing, February, and then it ends at the end of November. But yeah, I love my birthday as a general rule. I do a lot, and I plan it like well in advance and invite everyone to stuff, and yeah, it's chill.
So my birthday, I don't tend to celebrate really. Like I don't tend to go out or anything, which makes it easier for Sally's birthday as well, to be honest, because then she don't have to like share it with me. But there is one time I did celebrate it, and it was my 16th. I was in a different band at the time. By Jacob, he clearly doesn't care about me.
Oh, I was literally thinking, oh, it hasn't done that in a while. It might be good.
As soon as it comes to anything about me, Jacob just runs away. He takes and takes.
Right, I'm back.
Okay. So my 16th birthday, my party wasn't actually on my birthday, but my mum came up to me and was like, look, I've got a friend, like my friend's daughter, she's turning 16 and she's going to be having a birthday party at the social club around the corner. Was I 18? I might have been 18. I was in college, so it's one of the two, probably 18, because I was allowed to drink. So I'm going to say I was 18 to be safe. And
oh, I can't believe it's taken 5 podcasts to get there.
I know, yeah. It took long enough. You've done so well. I'm proud of you.
Oh no, there's been a few you just hadn't noticed them.
Oh, I see. I was more engrossed in actual conversation at that point, I guess.
Yeah.
So my mum was saying, look, she's turning 18. She's having it at the social club around the corner. Does your band want to play? So I asked them. They say yes straight away. Little did I know they were in on this. We also make a playlist. She's into similar music as you do. Now I thought my mum thought I like top 40 stuff, so I started like getting together like a list of all this music that I personally didn't like. I'd listen to it, but it wasn't my kind of music. So it's like, great, okay, wonderful. So we get to the venue on the day. We set up all our gear and my tiny little bass amp that you could hear, but obviously it was tiny. And it's like, okay, you've done your checks. Go with your stepdad to the pub. Like, you and the band go to a different pub and go have a drink. So I didn't question it. I'm like, yeah, there's a bar there, there's a bar downstairs, but we will go to a different bar. So we walk up the street to a different bar, have a few drinks. I'm a bit merry at this point. We go back and I realize I really need the toilet. So we go upstairs. I open the door and I was like, surprise! I'm like, thanks, but I need to piss. Run to the toilet, come back out. As I run past the toilet, I realize that my bass amp's gone and I've got this really nice hash down bass amp sat there. So I come back, I get on the microphone because I was the lead singer of this band. I realised it was my birthday, said thank you, played my own birthday, and that's all I remember of the night, really. After getting off stage, I got a bit too drunk and don't remember if I ended up at my house or my girlfriend's at the time's house. Who knows? One of them. But it was a good time.
So before Jacob rolls into, wait, did Jacob already talk about his?
He did.
Yeah, I started it.
Yeah.
I do have one other thing to say. No,
I'm
it's fine.
sorry, I'm so tired.
Honestly, same. It's fine.
We're nearly done.
I
kind
feel
of.
like I shouldn't have taken my meds before we started this,
No.
but I'm trying to like get back on my med schedule, so I actually took them in the morning. So I got a couple things, but like
Okay.
I had a party for my 18th, like a social club party.
Yeah.
And we were setting up food in the other room, and my mum gave me a gatto to carry. I don't know why. And I wasn't drunk. Like
Right.
everyone thought I was drunk, but I'd been drinking like VKs all night.
Oh yes.
And obviously I was an alcoholic. People didn't realize I was an alcoholic at the time because I was a very high functioning alcoholic and I was doing a pretty good job of hiding it. But I was 18 and I'd been an alcoholic for several years.
Yeah.
But obviously my mum's there and it's my 18th birthday and she thinks that a few VKs have got me drunk. But she said to me as I was walking away from her, "Don't drop that gatto." And I turned round to look at her because she was speaking to me. And I was wearing heels that didn't really fit properly. And I tripped and dropped it. And it was like matted carpet. And this gatto just landed face down on this carpet. And my mum was like, "Why though?"
What did I just say?
But then she was like, "I can't believe you dropped this gatto because you're drunk." And I was like, "I'm not drunk." And obviously she didn't believe me. No one believed me. But I didn't even end up drunk by the end of the night. And I was getting so angry though, because she kept getting more and more annoyed at me that I'd dropped this gatto while I was drunk. But I wasn't drunk. And then I was getting angrier and angrier because I was getting accused of being drunk. And I was like, "It's you that made me drop the gatto. I would never have dropped the gatto if you hadn't said don't drop the gatto." Like, I was walking to the table to put the gatto down, and I was doing so very carefully because I was very aware that I was wearing heels. And then you said don't drop the gatto, so I turned round and I tripped over. But yeah, so there was that, and then I threw a masked ball for my 21st, and I invited my ex-boyfriend and the guy I was seeing at the time.
Smart.
Well, I was living with my ex and I thought we were friends, but it was a very toxic friendship. And the guy I was seeing, we were very close, but like when he got drunk, he could be quite like angry and aggressive. Not with me,
Yeah.
but like if there was like a disagreement,
Yeah.
he wasn't massively friendly. And I can't remember how it happened, but essentially my ex made me cry, and then the guy I was seeing at the time tried to kick him out, and then I got annoyed because I didn't want him kicking out, and there was a big fight, and I ended up crying in the toilets, and then my stepsister tried to come and get me to be like, "They're trying to sing happy birthday to you." But I'd drunk like a full bottle of champagne, like £50 champagne that someone had left behind the bar for me. And I was crying and my makeup was all ruined, and I was like, "This is terrible. This is the worst birthday ever. What was I thinking?" Like, and then we went to warehouse. I went to warehouse in a ball gown and a masquerade mask, and I walked up to the door and they just looked at me like, "Why doesn't this surprise us?" Like, like it's you. So I went in and I kept getting annoyed at people standing on my dress, and it's just me in it. Like, funny. I've had so many bizarre birthdays back when I was drinking. Now my birthdays tend to be pretty good, but back then they were a mess.
Well, I do like. So, ironically, I feel like this year is the year I've celebrated my birthday the most. Like I've done the most for my birthday, even
Yeah.
though with COVID and everything, and it was complete accident. And it was just so I was just in a Discord call with some friends, and we were all just chilling and playing games and whatnot, just usual night. And then at bang on midnight, my mum decides to come in with loads of cupcakes and going, "Oh, happy birthday, happy birthday!" She starts like cuddling me and like shouting "happy birthday" and stuff, and everyone can hear her down the mic. So they're all just like, "Oh, Jacob, it's your birthday! It's your birthday!" So they all start like doing that, and then my mum's just trying to like troll me in like when I'm on a headset to everyone, and then we all just ended up playing party games. So it was actually more of a party than I'd usually get
Yeah.
because I don't celebrate it. But I feel like because I couldn't celebrate it, I didn't feel the need to go, "Oh, I'm not going to celebrate it."
Yeah.
I feel like we've said before, like out of COVID, if it was like a time when the band could get together, we'd like go for like a low key meal or something.
Yeah,
And just
like
Yeah.
chill as the band so that we could just hang out. But obviously COVID.
yeah.
So fuck that.
Like oddly enough, I feel like I use going out for my birthday. So like if I went for a meal or something for my birthday, which I usually do, like, I never go on nights out or anything for my birthday, but I sometimes go for a meal. But that's more almost to forget that it's my birthday.
Yeah, absolutely.
like-
Okay, I feel like we both stopped. So the other controller.
No, just because it's like I feel like most people would count that as like, oh, going for a meal for your birthday. I'm like, no, I'm going for a meal because I don't want to know it's my birthday. And if I'm
Yeah,
doing something now,
yeah. So
oh
I
well.
feel like that'd be kind of like, obviously it is like a positive reinforcement. Like it's like okay, we want you to feel better, but it wouldn't be like oh my god, like we're
Let's
gonna
get them to
sing
walk
happy
out with-
birthday to you and we're gonna like do this. It'd be like like we're just here, like
Yeah.
we're gonna hang out, like.
So no sparklers. No.
I feel like
No.
we should just start doing a January is over party.
I'd be
Oh my
down.
God,
I am
yeah.
down.
Like just a party like last day of January going into February, and it's kind of like almost like a New Year kind of thing. It hits February and we're all celebrating.
Well, yeah, because I feel like to me that is my new year.
Yeah.
Like the end of January is my like, thank fuck it's over.
No, I'd be well up for that.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Well, I think once well, I say once COVID's over. If COVID's over by next
I hope it is.
end of January, which
Might have been a
hopefully it
bit
is,
much otherwise.
we should do that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
down.
definitely.
We'll have like a buffet or something. Like we'll rent out like a hall. Have a buffet. Just the band and Jade, and boom.
And then probably end up going warehouse.
Probably. We probably won't need to rent a hall out. We'll just have a buffet somewhere.
We'll just have a buffet
in
somewhere.
the street, just in the street.
Yeah.
Leave it there
I
for
feel
the
like it wouldn't be warehouse. We'd have to go to like another city so that Ollie could come.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be down.
Could go Satan's.
Boom.
Yeah.
Heard it here first, folks. Every
Look at
year
us
from
in
now on.
February planning for next February.
It's what we need.
This is what COVID's done to us. You plan your next night out a year in advance.
Well, hopefully, COVID will be ready for Halloween.
Oh,
So,
good segue. I like that.
That's thank you. That's what I'm looking forward to because every other Halloween I've dressed up. So one year I went as Miley Cyrus with her short hair, and she just released the song "Wrecking Ball" that year. So I went out with like lipstick and like mascara, hot pants, crop top. I looked amazingly bad. Another year I went as Slender Man in like a morph suit.
I was going to say, so you just went as yourself then.
I just went as myself, but in a morph suit. Right.
Bold Alan, aka Slenderman.
One year I want to go as Goku, Super Saiyan Goku. I need to exercise for that though, because he's ripped.
Yeah.
And yeah, might go as Kurt Cobain this year. Before, not after.
Like, oh, but yeah, I feel like that so Halloween in itself is like the one time I properly go out, and like dress up and everything. So what have I dressed up? It's difficult because I'm fat. It's like no costumes are like fit for fat people. Like, it's like, oh, I dress up as this person. Oh, wait, no, because then I'd just be a fat version of that person. So like, sometimes I embrace it. So like, one year I did Fat Flash, and I was just a Flash but fat. I've done Sexy Hot Dog. So I went around in Manchester as a. So I was just going to be a hot dog, and I thought, no, that's boring. Like, there'll be loads of hot dogs. I know, I'll do a hot dog. I'll do some makeup, put on some like silk kind of gloves, put on some stockings, some high heels. Which it was so hard to find high heels for like my size, because I'm like size 12 shoe. I think managed to find some size 8s or 9s.
I spoke about this the other day, and the first thing on Google came up straight away.
Yeah, well, I feel like this was me going around the day before Halloween shopping.
Probably.
Like, if you think about it, Slutty Hot Dog does sound like a last-minute costume idea.
It does.
I'm trying to think what else I've been. I went as a Viking one year.
I wanted to go as a Lego brick, but then when I tried making the Lego brick, it didn't work, so I just borrowed somebody's bikini.
You forgot about when you went as the gift from God to women.
Oh yeah, I did that as well. That was an easy one. Just get a box, cut some holes in it, wrap in paper, done. From God to women. That was this. That was last. Was it last? No, it was 2019. That wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the last Halloween I went out. No, was it the last Halloween?
Yeah, you couldn't have gone out for the last one.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, it just feels so long ago now. Well, I mean, it was, but.
What about you, Sally? What's your Halloween experience?
I don't really celebrate Halloween because it's just busy and overwhelming and crap.
I just like dressing up.
I went out like twice for Halloween. For one of them, I cosplayed as a Fable character. Specifically as my Fable character, but my hair was different. That's about it. And then for the one before, I just dressed as a slutty fairy. But then after that, I haven't been out because I stopped drinking and it's just packed and people are rude.
Yeah.
And prior to that, I don't think I did anything because I think back in high school I went to like one party and I just went dressed like really slutty but took a devil's trident with me. And that was it. Like
horny devil.
So yeah, I don't celebrate it because it's just busy and I can't be arsed with it. People just spill their drinks all over you and you're just pressed up against people all night and I just don't see the point.
Yeah. I feel like I prefer it being back in Preston. Manchester, it was very hectic.
It's hectic here too.
Yeah, I know, but there's more people in Manchester.
I prefer it from where I'm from
hectic.
because it was a small village that nobody's heard of, and it's great because nobody went out. So there was like 20 of us. That was it. That was the whole night.
I was going to say, although having dogs, I hate trick or treating because it's just people knocking on your door, setting off your dogs barking every 5 minutes.
I just don't answer the door.
Yeah, neither do I, but they still knock at the door and my dogs still bark.
I wish people came trick-or-treating here, but no one ever knocks. Like, I buy candy every year. I used to buy candy at my old flat, but no one buzzed there, which didn't surprise me because no one buzzes flats. No one used to knock on my door at Newell Lane. And no one buzzed my flat before that. I've never had a trick-or-treater at any of my houses or flats.
I'm going to come knock on your door later and say trick-or-treat. By that face, I shouldn't do
It'd be great if she said trick and just closed the door on you.
that. Oh,
Alan was with me when I bought all the candy
yeah.
last year, and then nobody came for it. And then I'm pretty sure I sent him home with it like a couple weeks later because I was like, I'm not gonna eat this. I bought it for the trick or
I ate it
treaters.
all. It was great. It was so good. Like mini chocolate bars just taste better for some reason. Yeah. Well, there's not much more to say on that, is there?
Oh.
Although I remember one year someone did say, I went up to trick or treating, not so I said trick, and I kind of stood there going, "What do I do now?" So I want a trick. I'm like,
To be fair, that's a point though. What about when you were a kid? Did you go trick or treating?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm pretty sure I did. Like, I don't have memories of it.
3 times.
I do. I remember going trick or treating. Like, it was a huge thing. Like, I used to go trick or treating. Do you know what? I went when we were in high school. I went with Jenny Ross. She came round and we went trick or treating. I'm pretty sure we dressed up as like schoolgirls.
Hurrah! Sorry, cat's yelling at me.
And then we just put fake blood all over us. Like we literally just like rolled our skirts up, put like shirts on and poured fake blood all over us, and it was embarrassing looking back, but we were like what, 15, 16, and we went trick-or-treating, and that was the last time I went. But like as a kid I used to go all the time, and like I got loads. And me and Ollie used to go to the Chinese as our last stop every night and get free chips.
That sounds sick.
Yeah, like we'd go trick-or-treating all night, and then just before 11 we would go to the Chinese and get free chips because they were like about to shut. We'd be like trick-or-treat and they'd be like hello, and they'd give us free chips and we would take them home and share them with my mum and Andy. But like, yeah, trick-or-treating was a vibe. And like when we were much younger, we would finish off at my dad's, and we'd like tip all our sweets out and we'd share them out evenly, like healthy brother and sister vibes. And then like we'd just be eating them for like weeks and it'd be awesome. But like I remember like proper like MacGyver in costumes, like putting a bin bag on, and then just like a witch's hat and those weird witch's fingers you could buy, and then just calling it a day.
Yeah.
That's it, you're done. Go on, go make us proud.
And then my mum would take me though, like either my mum or next door would take us because we lived in a rough area and we weren't going on our own, not until we were a bit older. But yeah, trick-or-treating was a vibe. Yeah. What about bonfire night?
So I always used to go to, there was a pub near where I used to live that would always do a firework display. So we'd always go there, and then I feel like it was since I moved to where I am now, so probably when I was about 11 we stopped. And then yeah, I don't know, like I don't really do anything for it. Again, like just, like, so I don't mind bonfire night. I can tolerate like, because obviously being a dog owner, it's annoying with the fireworks and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, fireworks can just be annoying anyway, but it's the people who think it's bonfire night, let's do fireworks for 3 weeks straight.
Yes. Or the kids were like, it's bonfire night, we can get fireworks from anywhere, let's go out onto the street.
Oh,
there.
I remember when I was in Manchester, there was I was working on bonfire night and I came outside the shop and there was just kids shooting fireworks at cars. Yeah. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like, why?
Serious cause accidents there.
Yeah, I feel like I understand it to a point. Like, that people do their own fireworks shows, but I feel like it would be
Yeah.
better if it was just structured fireworks shows at actual places.
Yeah.
And then there'd be
That'd be really hard to police is the problem. Like,
Yeah.
obviously you'd know where they were coming from, but there'd be so many of them.
Yeah.
Like, I only really have 3 memories of Bonfire Night, and one of them was at a structured show, and that was really fun. Like, that was one of the best experiences I've had with it, because you're not too close. You don't need to worry about the danger because they've already set everything up, and they've usually got the proper pyrotechnics set up.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful. It was a bit cold, but
Oh, I've just remembered. So we were doing a fireworks thing at my cousin's,
yeah.
and one of the fireworks landed in, I don't know if it was a cousin or just a family friend, but landed in a hood and burnt her hair completely. I feel like that's where my hatred of it started from. Like that. Since then, I've just been like a fireworks Scrooge.
I'm more of a fan of the actual bonfire.
That was always fun.
So when I was a really young kid, we made at the house that I grew up in, we made a Guy Fawkes and put that on the bonfire, and I loved it. Like, it's just something about it. Like, I'm not pyromaniac or anything, but it was just nice to watch. And then when I got a bit older, I went with my dad to one, and they had a bonfire in the back alley, but it like went the width of the back alley, and you couldn't get past it, kind of thing. So that was a bit dangerous, but it was cool to watch. Obviously, the other one was the fireworks show that I remember. Other than that, I don't tend to. It's not that big for me.
See, I'm a firm believer that fireworks should just be banned completely, which is what I'm going to start out with. But I do agree that, like if that were to happen, people would make their own. So I think that it should just be structured shows, which I get what you're saying, but I don't think it would be hard to police because they would just shut fireworks shops. Like, they wouldn't
Very
be
true,
sold.
but
It's
like the idea with drugs, though, isn't it? You cannot legally buy drugs, but people still find a way.
They'll find a way.
Market for it.
I mean, but like, that's only because there doesn't exist a legal way to do it.
No, of course.
Like, if there were structured shows, people would just go to the structured shows.
Also, it's not hard to spot them.
Yeah, no, it's not hard to spot them, but it's
not like you can look up into the sky and go, "Oh, he's doing cocaine, let's get him."
Like,
see a firework.
People only do them themselves because they can.
Yeah.
Like, if they couldn't, but there was still a way to see fireworks, they would just go to the way that they could see them. Like,
there's always people in the world that will try and go against it.
I mean, yeah, but it wouldn't be like.
I wouldn't say it'd be mass hysteria. No.
Like, it would be like 1 or 2 in every like 100 that do it now.
Yeah. Definitely.
Which would be a massive improvement, and then it would be easy to police. Like, it wouldn't be hard to police because those people could be caught. Like, there would be consequences for those people. And there wouldn't be people like tying fireworks to cats like 24/7. But like, my point is, there should only be structured shows. Like, it doesn't matter how hard it is to police that. Like, if there were not shops selling fireworks to anyone who wanted to buy them, then like, it's like saying like anything should be legal just because it's hard to police.
No, I'm not saying that.
Because it's not fair to people who have PTSD, and it's not fair to animals. Like, those people and animals get really harmed by fireworks. But like, don't get me wrong, I have some good memories of like Bonfire Night, but it's not worth like the way off. Like, I remember as a kid, like, it's weird because I have really distinct memories of going to a firework display as a kid, and being like really cold and like tramping back through the mud and getting home and having like candy apples.
Yeah.
Like I really remember that as a little girl. And I think like my granddad and grandma came with us as well. Like I think it was another kind of family event.
Yeah.
But then I also remember being a little bit older and being like in my dad's back garden, and we had a bonfire, and I think we set off some fireworks as well. But the main thing I remember is the bonfire. And we put jacket potatoes in the base of it.
Yeah.
And cooked them and ate them. And my friend was there, and it was just like a really like warm environment and stuff. So like I definitely have nice memories of it, but like as an adult, for weeks I feel trapped in my flat because I can't leave my cats on their own.
Yeah.
And it's just horrendous.
Well, it's like because the fireworks shop near me went viral last year, because like when all the lockdown restrictions came in about non-essential shops, they started selling potatoes to get around the restrictions. I remember it was, I think it was either Mock the Week or Have I Got News for You. It was on there, like the specific shop. But it's like, if they just stop people buying the fireworks, then I'll just make it like I agree. Like it should only be structured shows, like especially because the people who buy fireworks end up doing it constantly.
Yeah.
All year, not even on specific days.
They'll try and set them off in the day as well.
Yeah.
Which is never, I've never understood. You can't see them. Like, are you just that like inclined to hear the noise?
Yeah, I don't know. But I feel like as a kid, it's fascinating because pretty lights. But
yeah,
yeah, but you can take children to structured shows and they'll enjoy it just as much. Like,
I don't get the point of it as much, like, because the noise is just annoying most of the time. Like some of them that make the funny noises on the way up.
Oh, I hate the whistling ones.
Oh no, not if it's a really loud one, but some of them make like I don't know, little sounds on the way up. But then like it's kind of just like right, plug my ears for the bangs.
Yeah. No, I definitely prefer being further away and seeing the light show than having to deal with it and crane your neck upwards and stuff. So I'm a big fan of structured shows. Yeah. But I think we've hit everything unless anyone else has anything to say.
I can't really think of any more celebrations.
No.
Like the only other one I can think of really is St. Patrick's Day and like St. George's Day.
I don't celebrate either of those.
No, like the only time I've celebrated St. Patrick's Day, that's not what I was celebrating. It was Ollie's birthday.
Yeah.
And it was his 18th as well. So like one of the clubs was doing like a massive event and I snuck him in because he was technically 17 until midnight. So I like wrangled it with the bouncer and snuck him in, and then he turned 18 at midnight and it was a vibe. But yeah, he was wankered that night. Like there's like a fab photo of us from that night where I was dancing with my mates, and then he went and got the photographer, brought him over, and then like grabbed me from behind and like leaned me in. Yeah. And we both looked such a mess, but we're both just kind of laughing. But yeah, that's the only time I've been out on St. Patrick's Day, because it's another one of those nights that's just
people just get too pissed.
And I never really understood why we celebrate it, because
we should, because we don't really celebrate St. George's, do we?
No. Holiday.
Fine, America celebrates as well, which is even more confusing. Like, at least we're close.
Yeah.
Like, we're next door to them. What are they? Yeah, we want to celebrate Ireland. Like, okay, we're just going to get wankered. But there we go. We've only got a few minutes left of the meeting, so we might as well wrap it all up. And as always, if there's anything you want us to talk about, pop us a message in Twitter, join our Discord, leave it in the comments, like, don't subscribe, but actually do subscribe. And I don't like it when people just say that. And that's it from us for now. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.